Financing offer on new Suzuki motorcycles subject to credit approval. Program available to qualified customers only. Not everyone will qualify. See dealer for details. Restrictions may apply.
KNX 1070 AM and HD. AMP HD2 Los Angeles. KNX 1070 News Radio. Broadcasting live from the Southern California BMW Newsroom. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Find a dealer at SoCalBMW.com.
Top stories now at 6:59.
Race issues and voter involvement. President Obama leaves L.A. after talking about both and picking up contributions from the Democratic National Committee. I'm Pete Demetrio in Century City.
The president could have one more presidential-sized traffic jam. That's coming up probably in the next hour or so.
I'm John Baird at LAX. The president will be heading here soon to climb aboard Air Force One for his flight to Phoenix.
And we'll have more on the LA Marathon coming up this Sunday.
Well, thank you, Bar. I'm Nick Helton. Traffic and weather together on the 5. CBS News coming up next.
All news, all the time. Southern California's only all-news radio station.
The World News Roundup now sponsored by South Bay BMW. KNX News time is 7 o'clock.
Peaceful night in Ferguson, Missouri. American health worker with Ebola
Has just arrived in Maryland for treatment.
2 terror groups vow to fight together.
This makes Boko Haram more dangerous.
Good morning. I'm Steve Caton with the CBS World News Roundup. Honking horns and pounding drums last night in Ferguson, Missouri as demonstrators tried to drown out the gunshots that injured 2 police officers the night before. CBS's Dean Reynolds on a noisy but peaceful night.
Non-violent protests filled the street. The group peacefully coming together after a candlelight vigil. The heavy riot gear worn by officers 24 hours before was noticeably absent.
Trying to de-escalate things.
Lieutenant Jerry Lohr is with the St. Louis County Police Department.
We want to start to make progress forward, and in order to do that, we have to give a little bit. I'm Stephen Portnoy in Ferguson. Many activists here worry the shootings could distract from what they consider the progress of the past few weeks. The departure of key figures in city government, like the police chief who resigned the other night. Local Democratic Committeewoman Patricia Bynes.
This is really about the direction that the city is going to be moving.
She's looking to next month's municipal elections. So is Larry Lewis.
This community is 67% African American. We only have 1 African American on the city council. That's a problem.
But 4 African Americans are running next month, and it's possible the racial makeup of the council could soon be 50-50. To Marsha McGee, it would mean true change.
The only way we're going to get a clean slate over here is we get the people out to vote.
The search is still on for the person or people who fired the shots Wednesday night. President Obama told ABC's Jimmy Kimmel.
What had been happening in Ferguson was oppressive and objectionable and was worthy of protest. But there was no excuse for criminal acts.
A judge could rule today on whether the grand jury indictment of a Cleveland police officer and the deaths of 2 unarmed suspects was tainted by some prosecution evidence. The 2 who were killed in a hail of 137 bullets after a high-speed chase. An American health care worker diagnosed with Ebola in West Africa is now back in this country for treatment. Live to CBS's Dave Barrett.
This latest Ebola patient was flown by charter aircraft from Sierra Leone, was admitted to the National Institutes of Health facility in Maryland before dawn. Patient's name, gender, and age not released. It's the second time the Special Clinical Studies Unit will treat someone with the virus. The World Health Organization says more than 10,000 people have died from Ebola, which continues to be a major health problem in Guinea and Sierra Leone. Steve?
Well, President Obama goes to the Phoenix Veterans Hospital today to check up on how the VA is dealing with appointment delays and mismanagement. White House correspondent Pam Coulter.
The president's visiting the hospital at the epicenter of the Veterans Health scandal to see what improvements have been made and what remains to be done. The VFW surveyed several thousand members, and Carlos Fuente says they found widespread satisfaction with VA health care.
78% of the survey participants indicated that they were satisfied with their VA health care. 82% of them said that they would recommend VA care to the fellow veterans.
A law passed last year makes it easier for vets to get private medical care, but critics say it's being implemented too slowly. Pam Coulter, CBS News, the White House.
At the Boston Marathon bomb trial, the man who was carjacked by the Tsarnaev brothers just before their showdown with police told his story, making it clear the older brother admitted he was the Boston bomber. CBS's Don Daler says Johar Tsarnaev's lawyers seized on that that in cross-examination.
It's very obvious that the angle of their questioning is intended to indicate that Tamerlan was in charge. Tamerlan is the one who jumped into the vehicle and carjacked it. Tamerlan was the one who admitted that he was the one responsible for the Boston bombings, and Tamerlan's the one who had the weapon during the carjacking itself.
Johar Tsarnaev's lawyers are trying to spare him the death penalty. The newly closed chapter of the Sigma Alpha Epsilon fraternity at the University of Oklahoma plans to sue the school. 2 members were expelled for the viral racist video. 4 minutes after the hour.
Good morning. This is traffic on KNX 1070 News Radio. We have a very, very busy morning. Southbound side of the 5 at the 170 split. We've had all lanes blocked, and they finally reopened the 1 lane, which looks like it's moving okay. We've had an overturned rig. The backup, though, is to the 118. It depends on where you need to go and if you want to sit in that backup or not. The alternates are starting to get incredibly heavy now. We were recommending the 405 south getting away from the 118. It's starting to get slow from about Devonshire. We were also recommending, if you're coming down from the Newhall area, to take the 5 to the east 210. Unfortunately, though, now that is slow from the 5 down to about the 118. We were recommending you continue on that eastbound at 210 down to the 2 south, but unfortunately now, and then get back into downtown. But the 2 south now has gotten very heavy as well as you make your way down to the Golden State. Just give yourself a lot of extra time. A lot of the alternates to that 5 south at Sheldon problem are now starting to get heavy. Traffic and weather together on the 5. Our next report at 7:15 from your Southern California traffic leader, KNX 1070 at CBSLA.com.
In a diabolical link-up, ISIS says it welcomes the Pledge of Allegiance from the murderous African group Boko Haram. CBS News security analyst Michael Morrell.
ISIS gets a major advance for their brand. They're in this struggle with Al-Qaeda for leadership of the global jihadist movement, and now they've just got one of the most important terrorist groups in the world, one of the largest 10,000 fighters, to sign up with them. What Boko Haram gets out of this is also advantage for their brand. They're now playing with the big boys, and so they're going to get more money, they're going to get more recruits.
CBS's Holly Williams in Iraq has the latest on the effort to oust ISIS from the city of Tikrit.
Iraqi forces are now inside Tikrit, pushing towards the center of the city from both the north and the south. We found the fighters in that area in a triumphant mood. We spoke to a major general, and he told us that victory is certain in Tikrit, and he anticipates that it will take only a few days.
A break could be coming in a long European standoff. Here's CBS's Larry Miller.
WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange says he welcomes the decision by Swedish prosecutors to question him on sex assault allegations at its Ecuadorian embassy vault hall in London. But his lawyer, Pierre Samuelson, says Assange won't be going for trial unless Sweden agrees to block any U.S. extradition request.
If he leaves the embassy, he will lose his political asylum and stands then the risk to be extradited to the United States.
Assange contends the U.S. wants to charge him over the release of leaked classified documents. Larry Miller, CBS News, London.
Reports say a new biography on the late Apple co-founder Steve Jobs reveals current company boss Tim Cook offered to give Jobs a portion of his liver. Doctors indicated a portion of a healthy liver could help Jobs in his health struggles. The book says Jobs turned Cook down. Architect Michael Graves has died at 80. He designed the Portland Building in Portland, Oregon, and the Humana Building in Louisville. Graves also came up with products for the disabled and teak kettles and colanders for many retailers. Keyboardist Jimmy Greenspoon has died. Heard on all the big hits from the band Three Dog Night. Greenspoon joined the group in 1968. He took a medical leave last year for cancer treatment. He was 67. Wall Street, the Dow is down 87 points. Time on the roundup, 8 past the hour.
On 8. It's Renewal by Andersen 31-day sale happening this month. Save $300 on every replacement window and $825 on every patio door with Renewal by Andersen's 31-day sale. You must call before March 31st, 1-800-798-8300. 800-798-8300.
Some people say Ohana. It's the vibe of the South Bay, and to us, it's warm, friendly, and fun. This is Peter Boson of South Bay BMW Mini, and in our store, we strive to give you that South Bay vibe. You'll notice it on your first visit to the dealership, and we want you to experience it every time you come in. When you buy from us, you're a VIP, and our VIPs receive unique and valuable benefits. You'll love your free any-day hand car washes. Plus, your choice of a variety of BMW or Mini loan cars with your service appointment. See, we're relaxed, and we want you to be too. But there's one area where we're intense and aggressive for you. That's on price. For over a decade, we've offered the exclusive and unparalleled Price Match Plus guarantee. We'll match or beat any BMW or Mini quote in California. And as one of the highest volume BMW Mini dealerships in the country, you'll get the car, color, and equipment you want. Visit us in Torrance or at southbaybmw.com or southbaymini.com. Don't settle for less.
South Bay BMW, South Bay Mini, the newest members of the McKenna European Auto Centers family. And the World News Roundup has been sponsored by South Bay BMW. The president's departure time just got pushed back.
When he does leave, he'll likely tie up traffic on the ground and in the air. Team coverage on KNX is next.
Good morning, I'm Dick Holt.
And I'm Vicki Moore. It's Friday, March 13th. Here's what's happening at 7:09. Just getting word from the LAPD that President Obama, well, he's going to leave a little later this morning, 2 hours later. Let's see if we can find out why. We got team coverage on KNX starting at the President's Hotel in Century City. And KNX 1070's Pete Demetrio.
The president spent the night at the Intercontinental Hotel in Century City. It's interesting that they're talking about pushing back his departure for roughly 2 hours, because in the last 20 minutes, we've seen a visible beefing up of police and other units that'll cover the route of the motorcade, including units from the LAPD, CHP, and the Santa Monica Police Department. Now, there's no official word on how the president's going to be taken to LAX. There's always the option of getting him to the airport by helicopter, flying out of Santa Monica Airport. With a look at the road closures and how you can avoid them this morning, now extending all the way until 10 o'clock this morning, let's switch to Jennifer York at the traffic center.
All right, steer clear of some of the west side here in Century City. The area around West Pico Boulevard between Avenue of the Stars and Westwood Boulevard will be closed, or rolling closures, we should say. Also, the area around Overland Avenue between Olympic Boulevard and National, and Centinela between Pico and Ocean Park. Back to you in the studio.
Commander Andy Smith on the line with us once again. Commander, we talked to you just a few minutes ago, and everything seemed to be in place, and now the president changed it.
Well, I guess as a leader of the free world, he gets to do stuff like that, so we're looking at an extra 2 hours.
All right, so what does that mean in terms of these closures, and who is going to be impacted, and when can we now anticipate that's going to happen?
Well, I don't think anybody's going to have any difficulties between 6 and 8 o'clock, but I think the difficult time is going to be between 8 and 10 o'clock, probably closer to 10 o'clock. So if you can avoid that area between, say, 9 and 10, I think you'll be in good shape. But right now, you're good to go between now and 8 o'clock. I think between 8 and 10, we're going to see a little bit of congestion.
And has anybody told you why the president is delaying? Like maybe there's a golf game about to happen, or maybe a basketball scrimmage?
Well, we've got a little pool going in our office as to what the actual reason is, but like I said, he gets to do that. He's the boss, so we'll just make sure it happens and get him back to the airport as safely as we can.
All right, good enough, Andy. Appreciate it. Commander Andy Smith there at LAPD. So, it's always, remember the one time he went and played basketball a little bit over there at Rancho?
Maybe he's got a hankering for a deli sandwich or a breakfast. Remember, and he also popped by Cantor's. It was a little surprise stop there, I think, one time, too. So we'll see.
One word, Pico.
Pico, yes. Well, Andy was mentioning the airport, so let's go out there, because that's going to, potentially mess things up there a little bit. At LAX this morning, standing by, KNX 1070's John Baird.
The president is flying back to Washington by way of Phoenix, where he will stop and tour the Troubled Veterans Medical Center there with the Secretary of the VA, Robert McDonald.
Here's how it works. Claudia, I'm going to ask you stereotypical guy questions. John and Joe will ask you stereotypical girl questions. Best of the 3 wins. So tie the end of regulation. We go to an answer tough tiebreaker question. It's French Friday. Claudia, let's start with you. Pele is widely regarded as the all-time greatest athlete in what sport? Pele.
Pele?
What sport?
Football?
What's your nationality?
I'm half Italian, half Spanish.
Well, what do you mean by football? What do you mean by soccer? All right, soccer. Okay. Because in some places they call it football, in some places they call it soccer. Okay. calls it football.
Johnny, what product is Sally Hansen best known for selling?
Sally Hansen. Hose? Patty hose?
Nail polish.
Yeah, next time say panty before you say that second word, by the way. All right, current score is girls up 1-0. Maverick, Iceman, and Goose are character nicknames from what movie, Claudia?
Top Gun.
Yeah, look at that.
Johnny, what Tom Cruise movie includes the line, "You had me at hello"?
You gotta get this right to stay in the game. Come on, buddy, you can do this. You can do it, come on. Come on, Johnny. Nothing.
Jerry Maguire.
Oh! Look at that! Look at that! Look at you, Claudia. Congratulations, you got it. Battle of the Sexes Championship certificate. Download it as a PDF printed, hanging on your wall with pride.
Totally will.
You've also got tickets to go check out this girl. Madonna at the Forum. Congratulations. They go on sale Monday, March 16, 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com. Congrats.
Thank you so much.
Have a wonderful weekend, Johnny. Thank you for playing, too.
My FM traffic. Next.
You know what? The 18th.
So far on the show, first.
The free agents and, the frenzy. 49ers and the Saints.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
They had better odds before this week.
I think I'm going to do the long shot bet. Because we know somebody that's won that bet before, right?
Many times.
Yeah.
There's
How much do
usually-
they win?
It's, oh my God, it's like 46-1, I think.
But you knew somebody,
It's
you said. Yeah, Steve Masters, the God Game guy.
How much did they win?
Oh, thousands and thousands of dollars.
Really?
Was it 2000 that the Buccaneers beat the Raiders in the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
He randomly went to Vegas and bet on the Buccaneers for that season's long shot. He's like, this is outrageous. This is never going to happen. And then the Buccaneers go and win the Super Bowl. And he won, I think it was like $7,000.
Wow.
And it was the same year he chose, I can't remember which hockey team that won the cup that year. And he did a long shot bet on them, and they won.
Damn.
Let's do it.
So let's bet a long shot on the Raiders.
All right.
Oh, wow. So you
Like
could
$10
get like...
and you'll win like $18 million.
Yeah. The odds on the Raiders, I can't imagine what they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, spend
Damn.
$320, put $10 on all the teams, like you'll win. You're guaranteed to win money.
Yep.
Well, depends on how, if you get the 5-to-1 odds.
No, but they
probably break
choose
even.
one team as the long shot bet.
And what I'm saying is, like, that way, if the long shot wins, you win.
There you go.
If not, you've spent $300, but, you're probably blowing money on worse things.
Yeah, that's true.
The long shot. Let's do it. So, Will Ferrell, he played all 9 positions in 5 different MLB spring training games yesterday, and he pitched for the Dodgers. So what's happening here is he's pitching. The batter bunted it back towards him, and he made the play at first. This is the call.
Bunting back to Ferrell, and there's one away.
He's got his game face on.
And it looks like that's going to be all for Will Ferrell tonight.
The crowd got all hostile because they took him out of the game.
Yeah, it's weird.
Oh, they're having fun with it.
This is Will Ferrell. Right after he made that play, he ran into Tommy Lasorda.
Tommy, nice play.
How are you, buddy? Good to see you. Good to see you. How you feeling? This is one of my sons. Yeah, this is Matthias. This is from Wyatt. Are you chewing tobacco right now? Did these guys give you chewing tobacco? All right, good.
The Dodgers, they play the Reds in spring training tonight, game time 7:05, and you can catch the action on our sister station, AM 570 KLAC. Now, I'm sure you guys know Sunday is Selection Sunday for the NCAA tournament, so all the conference tournaments are going on right now. And the Big East tournament happening at Madison Square Garden, the game Butler versus Xavier, and it was too much for Butler's mascot, the bulldog named Blue. Blue straight up vommed right in the middle of Madison Square Garden floor
Poor doggy.
during the pregame. But Blue did get some water on the sidelines, was able to rally, but his Butler Bulldogs still lost. But
Stage fright, man.
Stressful game, I guess. I'm Ravi, and that's sports.
98.7 traffic.
From the helpful SoCal Honda Dealer Traffic Center.
All right, 7:17. Let's get an update on your traffic. Here's Rando Marsh.
Thanks for the update from Lionel on the Route 70 time traffic line, 1-888-500-5003. About the signal that's ongoing in Sun Valley, find south at Sheldon. Rex still has the left lane, the only one that's open over from Big Rig involved here. The drive stacked up from San Fernando Mission Boulevard. Try San Fernando Road as a Surface Street alternate. Traffic brought to you by your Southern California Acura dealers. Visit your local Acura dealer today for great deals on their full line of cars and SUVs. Take a test drive today or visit SoCalAcuraDealers.com. That's SoCalAcuraDealers.com. I'm Nick Poliokini, all 98.7.
All right, so today after the show, we are leaving for Greg's big turn-up birthday weekend in Las Vegas. Well, I'm flying. Ravi's flying. You know I don't road trip.
No, you do
as
not.
As much as I like the Highlander, we don't road trip.
Yeah, you consider driving to work a road trip.
No, the biggest road trip I'll do is from Stevenson Ranch, where we live, down to Disney, and that's about it.
That's about it.
Or LAX during rush hour.
Okay.
Right. That's a road trip.
That's
it's fun. I know Menace is driving. Yep. And Greg is driving.
I got 5 people jumping on board the 4Runner, and we're going to head out to Vegas. We're going to stack the back with coolers, so it's going to be full. And if we have an emergency on the road,
Don't forget, electrical outlet in the back.
Oh, I thought you had an emergency. I thought one of those coolers was going to be for pooping.
Oh, that too.
No, you can't do that.
It's the only thing the 4Runner doesn't have is an actual bathroom inside of it.
We took a ride in the 4Runner one time. It was very nice.
Really nice.
I used to have a 4.
Keep learning at degrees.nu.edu.
How did Dickey's Barbecue Pit become America's favorite
conditioner, and more. Service requests are subject to a fee for each trade called. Some exclusions and limitations apply. Why would you ever pay for expensive home system and appliance repairs when you can let American Home Shield pay covered repairs for you? If you'd rather save more of your hard-earned money, call for valuable free information, including terms, rates, and coverage. 1-800-600-2189. That's 1-800-600-2189.
There's something better about traveling by an Amtrak train. You eliminate the traffic jams, highway congestion, and stopping for gas, and gain the freedom to move, to sleep, eat, and stretch out. Experience the better way, the railway. One-way fares from Los Angeles are as low as $35 to Fresno, $115 to Seattle, and $113 to Portland. Discounts for children and seniors available. Book now at Amtrak.com. Fares subject to availability. Routes, fares, and services subject to change without notice. Restrictions apply.
At the Lexus Command Performance Sales Event, you can have everything but time. With great offers on the ES and CT Hybrid and more new models than ever, like the NX Turbo and RC Coupe, but only until March 31st. Lease the 2015 CT 200H for $299 a month for 36 months. With $999 you would sign it. See your Southern California Lexus dealer.
Call 1-800-USA-LEXUS for important lease offer and pricing details. Not all customers will qualify. Offer valid in a Lexus Western area only.
With 3 airplanes overhead, KNX helps me avoid traffic.
Accurate and dependable traffic solutions.
KNX gets me to work on time.
Traffic every 10 minutes on the 5. KNX 1070 News Radio.
KNX's time 7:20. The Kings looked impressive. Here's Randy Cardoon.
Kings fighting for the playoffs against Vancouver.
Now Kopitar sends it up the center. Chased in by Gabrick. Score! Into the empty net. Gabrick with a goal. And it is now 4-0 Kings.
Bob Miller on Fox Sports Net. Vancouver only 19 shots on goal against Jonathan Quick. He knocked them all away as the Kings moved past Winnipeg into a wild card spot in the Western Conference with a 4-0 win. NBA, Lakers lose to the Knicks 101-94. College tournament action. UCLA putting USC out of their season with a 96-70 win in the Pac-12 tournament. UC schools win 3 of 4 games in the Big West. Irvine, Davis, and Santa Barbara all win. Riverside, unfortunately for them, lost to Irvine, and Hawaii knocked off Long Beach State. And checking NFL leading rusher DeMarco Murray. Talk about money. 5 years, $42 million. The former Cowboy jumps over to the division rival Philadelphia Eagles. Sports, 20 and 50 minutes past each hour. Randy Cardoon, KNX 1070 News Radio.
At Chase, we've made it our mission to help business owners achieve theirs by providing the financing and advice they need to expand.
Will your eye... Only at 7-Eleven at participating locations.
That's why
That I was accustomed to. We're not cooking it in big vats. It's handcrafted, but the demand is growing. Chase helps me continue to stay competitive. The line of credit really enables me to buy more ingredients in bulk. Having access to working capital is like the blood and the lifeline of a business.
Chase is proud to help businesses like the Love and Hummus Company and yours, so you can do more than succeed, so you can thrive. Chase is ready with limited time financing offers to help you expand, hire, or manage cash flow. Watch Donna's story and find out how Chase can help your business at chase.com/Mission Main Street. Chase, so you can.
Testimonial expressed reflects the views of this specific customer. All extensions of credit subject to approval. J.P. Morgan Chase Bank N.A., member FDIC, equal opportunity lender.
KNX News Time is 7:23. This Sunday marks the 30th anniversary of the Los Angeles Marathon, and tonight lights are going to go up all along the 26-mile route. Columns of light that will go into the sky. So if you're looking around and you say, what is that? It's all about the LA Marathon, and big deal this Sunday, and we're going to talk more about that coming up.
We had talked, in fact, yesterday about how great it would be flying into the city tonight when that's going on. That would just be looking down there and seeing all of that. That would be terrific. Yeah, more on the marathon coming up throughout the morning here on KNX 1070. Also, a story that we're continuing to follow, and this is, of course, Ferguson, Missouri. Protesters were back in the streets last night, just the night after 2 police officers got shot, one of them in the face, the other in the shoulder. They're out of the hospital this morning. CBS News correspondent Dean Reynolds is in Ferguson.
Demonstrators gathered at these concrete barricades just a few yards behind me in front of the Ferguson Police Department last night. Going forward, security is being handled by the St. Louis County Police and the Missouri State Highway Patrol, not the Ferguson Police. Nonviolent protests filled the street. The group peacefully coming together after a candlelight vigil. The heavy riot gear worn by officers 24 hours before was noticeably absent.
Trying to de-escalate things.
Lieutenant Jerry Lohr is with the St. Louis County Police Department.
We want to start to make progress forward, and in order to do that, we have to give a little bit.
During an interview with Jimmy Kimmel Thursday night, President Obama said there was no excuse for the shooting.
Whoever fired those shots shouldn't detract from the issue. They're criminals. They need to be arrested.
U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder didn't hold back.
This was a damn punk who was trying to sow discord in an area that is trying to get its act together.
Earlier that day, investigators combed the neighborhood surrounding Ferguson Police Headquarters, searching for evidence. At one point, a SWAT team closed in on this house. The two officers who were struck by this gunfire have been released from the hospital.
That's from Dean Reynolds, CBS News correspondent. He's there in Ferguson. KNX News time is 7:25. Here's your traffic and weather together on the 5s. Brought to you now by your local Nissan dealers. And here's Jen.
Our tip line, 323-467-1070. If you want to give us a call, if we don't answer, I'll check your messages. Got a lot of calls and a lot of messages to deal with here. But we got the SIG alert that has been taking, it's really affecting a lot of other freeways besides the one that it actually occurred on. 5 southbound, right at the 170 split there at Sheldon and heading out of the Arleta area. We've had all lanes but the far left lane blocked with a rig crash, overturned, and smashed into the right sound walls there, the big cement divider. So they're going to be out there for quite some time. But the bottom line is I think they've uprighted the rig now, but they still only have the left lane open. The back of it's to the 118, and I've been taking a look at it. We've been suggesting alternates to folks. And unfortunately, the alternates are getting heavy now. Southbound side, and everyone's calling up saying, thanks for telling us about the 210, but now everybody's on it. Well, that's true. Eastbound 210, getting away from the 5, had been a good alternate. And you're taking that down to the 2, and then the 2 south was starting to get heavy from the 134 down to the 5. And again, I'm going to say that, yes, the East 210 is starting to get heavy as you make your way out, get away from the 5 and through Lakeview Terrace. It's that or just sitting on the 5 south. It's really up to you. The 405 south also very tough from Roscoe heading into the Sepulveda Pass. Now, I just got a call from John saying on the northbound 110, unusually, it moves pretty well, but it's unusually slow this morning. The 2 right lanes are blocked by a new crash there. And also on the 405 southbound coming out of the Sepulveda Pass, there was an earlier problem there, and so it's tough to the top of the pass, really slammed to the top of the pass. And then it opens up, and you know what? If you need to get to LAX, if you get on the 405, say in West Los Angeles and head south, you'll be in pretty good shape. At Nissan, they just made your choice for a new car, an easier one than ever, with their most exciting and fuel-efficient lineup. The choice is yours. Now get great offers across their full line. Shop at your local Nissan store today or choose Nissan.com. Traffic and weather to get on the 5s. Our next report at 7:35 from your Southern California traffic leader, KNX 1070 and CBSLA.com.
Well, right now, downtown Los Angeles has 55, and it'll be into the 90s later on this afternoon. And in fact, we can see record temperature readings here in Los Angeles later on today. 90s all throughout the area. Even some 80s, mid to upper 80s along the beaches. Tomorrow, again, under sunny skies, back to the 80s at the beaches and the 90s elsewhere. Sunday, a little bit cooler at the beaches. That's where the marathon will end in Santa Monica. But nevertheless, by the time we get to midday,